I never liked surprises, especially not the ones that tear your heart out in front of everyone you love. Close your eyes, Rian whispered, his breath warm against my ear. I have something for you. Everyone clapped and laughed as he guided me into the living room, their faces lit with excitement. Zoya's voice cut through the crowd, high and eager. You're gonna love this, Nye. He planned it all week. I smiled, trusting. Foolish. I opened my eyes, and everything in me shattered. Rian was on one knee, holding out a velvet box. But the moment my eyes landed on it, my stomach turned. I knew that ring. It wasn't just any ring. It was my mother's ring, the one I told him never to touch, the one I hid in the back of my drawer with her last letter to me. Will you marry me? He said, smiling. Everyone cheered. Zoya clapped like a seal on fire. My chest felt tight. My fingers tingled. I took a step back. Where did you get that? I asked. He blinked. What? That ring, Rian. How did you get it? He laughed awkwardly. Babe, I found it while looking through your stuff. Thought it'd be perfect. It's beautiful. You had no right to touch it. It's just a ring. No, I said louder, my voice trembling. It's not just a ring. It was my mother's. And you knew that. You knew I wasn't ready to part with it. His smile faded. Murmurs filled the room. You're overreacting. Zoya stepped forward, placing a hand on Rian's shoulder. He just wanted to make the proposal special. Don't touch him, I snapped. Zoya froze. Why are you acting like this? Rian hissed, eyes darting. You're embarrassing us. I looked between the two of them. Something flickered in Zoya's expression. Guilt? Fear? Wait, I said slowly. How would you know he found the ring unless you were with him when... He did? Zoya opened her mouth. Closed it. You've been in my room? Rian looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him. It's not what you think. Oh, no? I laughed bitterly. Then explain the messages I saw last week. Miss you already. Can't wait till she's gone. Last night was perfect. Gasps echoed. Zoya turned red. You went through my phone? I trusted you, I screamed. Both of you, Rian stood up. Okay, listen. No, you don't get to explain. Not here. Not in front of all these people you invited to mock me. He tried to grab my arm, but I pulled back. Don't ever touch me again. Tanya, one of my coworkers, stepped forward. Myra, do you need me to call someone? I couldn't breathe. My heart raced. My vision blurred. I'm done, I whispered. I'm done with both of you. Zoya finally spoke. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. But it did, I said. And now you both get what you want. I looked around the room. All those faces that once smiled at me, now filled with awkward silence. No one said a word. Typical. I turned to Rian. You didn't just betray me. You broke me. He didn't say anything. He just stood there, mouth open, stunned that I had the nerve to walk away from his perfect little trap. I slipped the ring from the box without looking, pressed it into his palm, and closed his fingers around it. Tell the world I ran. Tell them. I couldn't handle it. Tell them I disappeared. What are you saying? Zoya asked. I looked her dead in the eyes. You'll see. And then I walked out the door, into the night, into the cold, into the unknown. No plan, no goodbye, just one promise. Pounding in my chest, this isn't the end, it's the beginning. You sure you want to do this? Kabir asked, gripping the steering wheel like it could stop me. I'm already dead to them, I said, staring out the window. Now I just need to make it official. The fog outside the car was thick, curling around the trees like fingers ready to pull me under. Somewhere behind us, the city still buzzed with lies and fake tears, but not for long. Kabir exhaled. Okay, the car's ready. Burned ID, fake blood, phone smashed, seatbelt jammed halfway. It'll look like you drove off the cliff drunk. Nodded. Good. He hesitated. You don't have to do this, Myra. There are other ways to disappear. No, I whispered. I want them to feel what I felt. Confused, hurt, left behind. He looked at me, face tight. Revenge doesn't fix pain. I'm not doing it to fix the pain. I'm doing it to bury it. Silence. Then, all right, I'll drive you to Myra Auntie's place. No one will think to look there. I reached into my coat and pulled out the ring. That cursed ring. Throw this into the wreck, I said, handing it to him. Kabir blinked. You sure? I don't want it. He took it slowly, like it burned. They'll think you crashed, snapped after the betrayal. Let them think that. Let them cry. Let them post their fake sympathy online. I stared ahead as he drove. Zoya will pretend to be heartbroken. Rian will play the grieving fiancé. Maybe he'll even shed a tear. Kabir clenched his jaw. They don't deserve your pain. They don't have it anymore, I said. They gave it back, shoved it in my chest, and watched me bleed. The road narrowed. The city faded behind us. We were headed to Aunt Myra's old cottage, deep in the hills. No cell service, no cameras. No memories, only silence. When we reached the curve near the cliff, Kabir stopped the car. He popped the trunk and got out. I followed him into the cold night. The second car, the decoy, was parked right by the edge. A match to mine, except empty, wrecked and ready to burn. This is it, he said, holding up the lighter. I handed him my phone. Last piece of me they'll ever touch. He tossed it into the driver's seat, doused the inside with fuel, and struck the flame. The fire roared to life. Orange, angry, wild, like my heart. We both watched in silence as it lit up the trees. It smelled like freedom and smoke. Kabir looked at me. Now what? I turned away from the fire and whispered, now I start over. Aunt Myra opened the door without a word. She didn't ask questions. Just pulled me into a hug and held on until I cried for the first time. You're safe now, she said softly. No one can find you here. I pulled back, wiped my face. Do you think I'm crazy? No, she said. I think you're wounded, but you're alive. That's what matters. I sat by the window that night, staring at nothing. My name would be on the news by morning. Missing. Presumed dead. Good. Let them bury me with their guilt. Let them make speeches and post tributes. Let them feel what it's like to lose something. They didn't value until it was gone. My phone was gone. My accounts wiped. I didn't exist anymore, but I was still breathing, still watching, still waiting, and they had no idea what was coming. 3 weeks. That's how long it took for them to start posting like I never existed. Missing Angel, Zoya wrote under a black and white photo of me. I miss you every day. I wanted to throw up. She was the light in my life, Riani. Captioned his latest post. He wore sunglasses, sitting on the hood of his car like he wasn't the reason I drove mine off a cliff. I sat on the cottage floor, the laptop glowing in front of me, showing their lies. She's grieving, Aunt Myra said gently, handing me tea. Even liars pretend to feel pain. She's not grieving, I whispered. She's celebrating. They both are. Kabir stepped inside, dropping a bag of groceries. You should see the news. Rian just gave a speech at your candlelight vigil. A vigil? I laughed, bitter and dry. Did he cry? Only when the cameras showed up. Aunt Myra sighed. You sure you want to keep watching this? Yes, I said sharply. I want to see everything, every lie they post, every tear they fake. Kabir sat beside me. You're not the only one who sees through them. What do you mean? He pulled out his phone. I got a message. From someone named Ariba. She said something's not right. She heard Zoya and Rian arguing behind the cafe last night. Thought she saw your necklace in Zoya's purse. My breath caught. My necklace? He nodded. The one you said went missing a week before everything happened? I swallowed hard. They've been planning this. Longer than I thought. Do you want me to meet her? Kabir asked. No, I said. I will. The cafe was noisy, just like I remembered. The smell of burnt coffee beans and fake laughter filled the air. I kept my hood up, eyes low, voice lower. Ariba? I whispered. She looked up from her seat, eyes wide. Oh my God, you're... I raised a finger. Shh, she leaned in close. They said you were dead. Not dead, just done playing nice. She looked pale. I didn't believe it. Not after I saw Zoya shove your necklace into her pocket like it was trash. I asked where she got it, and she snapped at me. She's good at snapping when cornered, I muttered. What did you hear them say? Ariba glanced around. They were fighting. Zoya said something like, she was going to leave anyway. What choice did we have? And Rian told her to shut up, that someone might hear. I clenched my fists under the table. They're hiding more than an affair. I think so too. Zoya looked scared, like afraid of what he might do next. I sat back. That's new. Listen, Ariba said softly. If you're planning something, I want in. I blinked. Why? Because I hate fake people. And because Zoya once got my cousin fired by lying about her stealing. She ruins lives and walks away clean. A grin pulled at my lips. Not this time. Back at the cottage, I spread out the files on the table. Kabir watched as I drew a line. Between names, places, dates. They've been together longer than I thought, I said. There's a pattern. He pointed. Rian's finances, weird transfers 2 months before your birthday. I knew he wasn't broke. He just lied, so I'd keep covering rent. You think they planned to trap you? Maybe. Or maybe they just liked watching me fall apart. Aunt Myra sat down. You've been quiet for weeks, Myra. Now you're moving like you're hunting something. I'm not hunting, I said, staring at the photos. I'm remembering who I am. Kabir nodded. Then it's time we remind them too. I looked at him. We're not just going to expose them. No, we're going to haunt them. I didn't need to knock. I still remembered the code. Beep, 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 beep. The door clicked open. I stepped into Rian's apartment like a ghost returning home. Nothing had changed. Same fake art on the wall, same cologne choking the air, same couch where he once swore, "It's only you, baby, liar," Kabir whispered from behind me. "We've got 10 minutes before the building guard makes rounds." Plenty, I said, pulling my gloves tighter. We moved fast, planting bugs, tucking the tracker under his car keys, slipping a small mic into the lamp. I left no trace but one, my mother's old photo on his nightstand. Let it rattle him, as yar. We left. I looked back at the apartment and smiled. Phase 1, begun. The next morning, I watched Rian stare at the photo like it had crawled out of his nightmares. What the hell? He whispered. Zoya sat beside him on the couch, yawning. What's wrong? He held up the photo. Where did this come from? She frowned. I didn't put that there. His voice rose. You think this is funny? You think she's haunting me or something? I leaned closer to the screen, listening. Zoya stiffened. I didn't do anything. Then who did? He snapped. You're the one who said she was gone for good. He threw the photo across the room. Don't say her name. I smiled. Say my name, Rian. Say it and shake. Later that day, Kabir handed me a burner phone. Ready? Call. Her. He dialed and handed me the phone just before it rang. Hello? Zoya answered. I said nothing, just breathed slowly, evenly. Hello? Who is this? More silence. Then one word. You. She gasped. What the? Who is this? I hung. Up, Kabir laughed. Creepy. Effective. She should feel what it's like, I said. To be watched. Hunted. We waited. Within 10 minutes, she was pacing her apartment, slamming drawers, locking windows. She's scared, Kabir said. She should be. The next night, I sent the first email. No name. No subject, just a photo of the ring. Burned. Melted. Zoya screamed when she opened it, threw her laptop across the floor. Ryan grabbed it. What did you see? She shook her head, trembling. She's not dead. I know it. He clenched his jaw. That's not possible. Zoya backed away. I told you we shouldn't have touched her things. I told you something bad would happen. Ryan snapped. It already happened, Zoya. She's gone. We made sure. I froze. Made sure. What does that mean? She asked. He didn't answer. He just walked out. I stared at the screen long after it went black. Did you hear that? I asked Kabir. Yeah, he said quietly. He said he made sure. You think... Kabir turned to me. You think he planned more than betrayal? My throat tightened. I thought it was just cheating, but what if it wasn't? What if he wanted me gone? Kabir didn't speak for a long time. Then, you still want revenge? More than ever. 3 days later, I sent Zoya another email. This one had a recording, my voice distorted. Do you ever dream of fire, Zoya? I watched her throw up in the sink. Good. Let the guilt rot. Her from the inside out. That night, I sat alone by the window, watching the stars. Aunt Myra sat beside me. You're quieter lately. Planning louder, I replied. She didn't smile. You think this will bring you peace? I looked down. No, but maybe it'll bring them chaos. She touched my shoulder gently. Just don't lose yourself in it. I turned away. That version of me is already gone. Are you sure you want to hear this? Kabir asked. I need to, I said. Play the recording. He pressed play. Zoya's voice crackled through the speaker. If anyone finds out, we're screwed. You said the break thing was just to see you scare her. Break? My stomach twisted. Rian's voice was calm. Too calm. I didn't touch the brakes. She crashed on her own. Don't lie to me, she shouted. You said she was getting too close, asking too many questions. You told me it was handled. He didn't deny it. I covered my mouth. He tried to kill me. Kabir looked away. We don't know that for sure. He said it was handled. Handled, Kabir. Aunt Myra walked in, her eyes on me. What now? I'm not just getting justice, I whispered. I'm getting truth. I went back to the cliff, the place where my car burned, where I almost died. I stood at the edge and let the wind slap my face. He wanted this, I muttered. Me. Gone. Out of his way. Kabir's voice came from behind. Then make sure he regrets it. I turned to him. We need evidence. Real, legal evidence. Or everything I've done will be for nothing. He pulled something from his jacket. I copied Rian's files before we bugged the apartment. You might want to see this. I opened the folder and froze. A transfer of R$500,000 to a mechanic, 2 weeks before my accident. We met the mechanic in an alley behind his shop. Greasy hands, eyes twitching, too nervous to lie. I already told Rian I didn't do it. Tell me, I said coldly. He looked between Kabir and me. He said it was a favor. Just loosen a bolt. Make the brakes delay, not fail. Scare her, he said. Just a scare. You touched my car? My voice cracked. The man looked down. I didn't know you'd go over the cliff. Kabir stepped forward. That makes you an accessory to attempted murder. The man backed up. Wait, no. Please, don't report me. I didn't mean... I'm not here to report you, I said quietly. I'm here to make sure you testify when the time comes, he hesitated. If he finds out... He won't, I interrupted. Because by the time he does, it'll already be over. Back at the cottage, I stared at the folder again. More than just one transfer. There were photos, screenshots, of messages between Rian and Zoya. What if she finds out? Rian, she won't. Not if we move fast. Zoya, you promised me a clean break. Rian, and you'll get it. After she's gone. I clenched my fists. They wanted a new life. without me in it. Aunt Myra sat beside me. Do you still love him? I didn't answer right away. I don't know what love is anymore, but I know what hate feels like. She reached for my hand. Just don't let that be the only thing you feel. That night, I sent Rian a letter. No name. No return address. Just one line written in my handwriting. You said she'd never find out, but I did. Kabir laughed. That'll mess with his head. I want him paranoid, off balance. I want him to start doubting everyone. And Zoya? She'll fall on her own, I said. People like her always do. The next morning, the news broke. Businessman Rian Malik accused of financial fraud. Police begin inquiry. I stared at the screen. Wait, what? Kabir blinked. I didn't do that. Aunt Myra frowned. Then who did? My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You're not the only one who wants him to pay. The message haunted me. You're not the only one who wants him to pay. I stared at my phone for hours, reading it over and over. Who else wanted Rian ruined? And why did it feel like they knew everything? Kabir leaned over my shoulder. You gonna reply? What do I even say? I muttered. Thanks for exposing my psycho ex? He shrugged. Couldn't hurt. I typed back, who are you? The reply came instantly. Someone who lost more than you did. I froze. What does that mean? Ask them, Kabir said. So I did. What did he do to you? This time, no reply. 3 days passed. The media chewed into Ryan like wolves on a carcass. Embezzlement, forged documents, and fake investors. It was all unraveling. I watched him pace around his office on the hidden camera, his hands in his hair. I didn't do this. He barked into the phone. Someone's setting me up. I want names. I want blood. Zoya sat in the corner, silent. He turned to her. You think it's her, don't you? Zoya blinked. She's dead, Rian. He stared at her. Are you sure? She didn't answer. That night, I got another message. Meet me at the Riverside Cafe. Tomorrow, noon. Come alone. Kabir wasn't thrilled. You trust this mystery ally? I don't, I said. But I want to know what they know. He sighed. Take this. He handed me a tiny recorder. Clip it under your jacket just in case. The cafe was nearly empty. Just the smell of stale coffee and quiet jazz. I sat at the far corner, watched every face, every movement. Then she walked in. Mid-30s, black jeans, cropped hair, no makeup. No smile. She sat across from me like she owned the air between us. You're the ghost, she said. You're the hacker, she smirked. Among other things. I leaned forward. Why are you helping me? She looked out the window. 2 years ago, I was where you are now. In love with Rian, trusted him, even started a company with him. I blinked. You were with him? She nodded. Until he stole everything. My code. My clients. My name. My mouth fell open. He never mentioned you. He wouldn't. I didn't just lose a man. I lost my career, my identity. I whispered, What's your name? Riva. I stared at her for a long moment. How did you find me? I didn't. I found the mechanic, heard whispers about a girl who vanished but didn't die. And when Rian started unraveling, I knew it had to be you. I looked down. I thought I was alone. You're not, she said. But you can't stop now. I looked up. What do you mean? Rian's not just a cheater or a liar. He's dangerous. He ruins people. We need to end him. I felt the words settle in my chest. We? Riva smiled. You have proof. I have reach. Let's ruin him together. Later that night, Kabir was waiting on the porch. Well? He asked. She's real, I said. And she hates him even more than I do. Think you can trust her? I don't know, I said honestly. But I need her. Aunt Myra joined us. a steaming cup of tea in her hands. "You're gathering allies," she said. "That's dangerous." "So is going at this alone," I replied. Myra sipped slowly. "Just make sure you don't become what you're trying to destroy." I looked at the stars. "I'm not trying to destroy him," I said quietly. "I'm trying to show him what it feels like to be destroyed." "Are you ready for this?" Riva asked, her fingers flying over her laptop. I swallowed hard. "As ready as I'll ever be." She slid her chair closer. "This isn't just revenge, this is exposure. Once this goes live, there's no hiding." "Don't want him to hide," I said. "I want him to burn." Kabir looked between us. "So what's the plan?" Riva pulled up a video on her screen. "We leak the audio of him confessing to Zoya, the bribe receipts, and a nice little documentary-style edit of his past sins." I blinked. "You made a documentary?" "Of course I did," she said. "It's called The Man Behind the Mask." Kabir laughed. "Dark. I like it. That night we posted everything. I watched the views climb. 10,000, 50, 100. 1,000 comments exploded. "This man is a monster. How is he still walking free? Justice for Anya." I flinched. My name. My real name. Out in public again. "I'm exposed now," I whispered. "But he's the one on fire," Riva said. The next morning, Rian was on TV. Not his polished self, sweaty, panicked, eyes bloodshot. "This is a coordinated smear campaign," he snapped at the reporters. "Lies. All of it." One journalist stepped forward. "Then why haven't you denied the brake tampering?" He froze. The camera zoomed in on his face. Silence. Then, "I have no comment." The clip went viral in under an hour. Zoya was next. She tried to post a sobbing video. "I didn't know. I never meant for anyone to get hurt. The comments tore her apart. You were in on it. Crocodile tears. You helped him. You're just as guilty." I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. The biggest shock came that night. Kabir burst through the door, holding his phone. "He's been arrested!" "What?" I stood so fast I knocked over my tea. He tried to flee. "Airport security flagged him. They found fake documents. He was trying to run to Dubai." I covered my mouth. "He really thought he could escape." Aunt Mira's voice came from the kitchen. "No one escapes karma, child. It always finds its way." Later, Riva and I walked along the riverside path, the same one where she first met me. "Feels weird," I said. "What does?" "Winning." Riva chuckled. "It's not really a win, just balance." He tipped the scale for too long. We just pushed it back. I looked out over the water. "So what now?" She looked at me. "Now you decide who you are without him." Back home, I sat on my bed, staring at my reflection. I touched the scar behind my ear. The one from the accident. The one I hid for months. "I thought I died that day," I whispered. Kabir stood in the doorway. "Maybe you did." I looked at him. "But you were reborn," he added. "This version of you? She's stronger." I nodded slowly, and she's finally free. The final message came hours later, an email, no subject, no text, just one image, Rian in an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, looking directly at the camera. No mask, no smirk, no lies, just a man, broken.